Hello, thanks for joining me for your in-depth monthly horoscope for February for the Sun and the Ascendant. If you have yet to subscribe to my channel, please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. If you'd like to talk to me directly, you can do so on Twitter, or if you'd like a one-to-one consultation, please see the link beneath this video and check out my testimonials. Also, if you want an immediate analysis of what the future holds for you based on your time, date and place of birth, my affordable written reports, you can get 30% off on a special offer. If you get your character analysis too, please see the link beneath this video as well. Hello Taurus, and welcome to your monthly forecast for February. Your ruling planet is Venus, which is known as a lesser benefic. In other words, it's a lucky planet. The greater benefic is Jupiter. Now, Jupiter starts this month in the part of your horoscope to do with success, goals, ambitions, work, status, big jobs, management, authority. Fantastic location for Jupiter to be. But Venus moving into this area augments the other three influences along with Jupiter, which are in the guise of the Sun, Mercury, which is retrograde of course, and Saturn. So we have a stellium of influences in the sign of Aquarius as we begin this month. So that 10th house energy is really crystallizing for you. And it's asking you to think about what you want from your life. And anything to do with responsibility, ambition, property, your relationship with your parents, or perhaps your relationship with your children if you are a parent, all come sharply into focus. Now, Venus moving into this area suggests that when it comes to your professional aspirations, that through to the 24th, it could be a case of who as much as what you know when it comes to getting yourself a job or making progress in an existing organisation. We know generally that all businesses have been affected in some way or another by the impact of COVID. But in week 2 of this month, those two benefics, Venus and Jupiter, come together in quite a magical way for you. So this could be a time when a job's offered, or you have an interview, or you do a presentation, and you can come across in a really sparkling way. So what are the catches this month? Well, Mars and Uranus continue their progress through your sign, and Mars is in quite a standoff with the Sun in the first 10 days of this month. So your individual desire to achieve your goals is going to be heightened by that square, but it means it can be tension building. So for example, if you see a goal and you feel very single-minded about it, you're not likely to be talking too much about how other people feel. You're going to be very goal-orientated. Now, when we're very goal-orientated, we tend to achieve a lot more. We have more thrust, we have more drive, but that means that we're less receptive. We're not so focused on the emotional side of relating. So just be aware that if you really do set your heart on something, there's a great chance of achieving it, but it's possible that you may have to show sharp elbows, and that could see you creating a little bit of conflict, particularly with someone in a position of authority. Now also, on the 8th of this month, Mercury's retrograde, which could mean that perhaps something around a property could start to move forwards, then stall, or perhaps you're going to be offered a job and then another job will come along that seems more attractive. There's a bit of a stop-start. Now that ends on the 21st, but Mercury stays in shadow, so it's not quite returned to the point when the retrograde began, which was 26 degrees Aquarius late last month. It's not going to come out of that until the middle of March. So your professional sector shows promise, but also maybe potentially some challenges. Perhaps the challenge is just about you changing something, because after all, us fixed signs, of course I'm an Aquarius, we like stability, and Taurus is very much a fixed sign. But from the 4th to the 10th, your ruler Venus goes into a conflict angle with Uranus. Now, if a boss tends to have a lack of diplomacy in terms of managing you, you could be quite rebellious and outspoken. If you've got a relationship which is not working so well, the power, who holds the power in the relationship, can come sharply into focus. Also, Saturn's in a square with Uranus pretty broadly for the next 6 months, and therefore is so this month as well. So that too is bringing out that power potential. If you feel someone's trying to dominate you and not being fair, I think there's every chance you will be much more rebellious. But at the same time, it's important that you're fair too. Now, in week 2, there's a glorious link between Venus, your ruler, and Jupiter, the two benefics, and that gives you an opportunity to really sparkle. So wear your best bib and tucker. If you are going to have an interview, even if it's online, just make sure that you're putting your best foot forwards. On the 11th, there is a new moon. This new moon also links fabulously well to Pluto. If you're offered a new role, don't be surprised in the following month if it requires some learning, travel, higher education, perhaps some kind of new approach to using your skill set that you've developed over a period of time in a more flexible way. But the 18th sees the sun move into the sign of Pisces, which for you is terrific. This is your sector of friendship. Now, he's going to be joined on the 25th by your ruler Venus, and Neptune, the planet of dreams, is already there. But just to let you know, in weeks 2 and 3, Mars in your sign, which is giving you this desire to get ahead, is actually forging a very subtle but very enabling link with Neptune. And when it comes to friendships or cultivating your interest, you can use the drive of Mars well, but in a way which is inclusive to others. So that's going to soften some of the more jagged edges that comes from Saturn and Uranus's square, and also the Mars-Sun square of the first 10 days. As I said before, on the 21st, Mercury goes direct, so you might start to hear about a professional situation, get greater clarity. The 27th, however, sees a full moon in your fellow Earth sign of Virgo. Now, this is your 5th solar house. This is all about creativity, passion, joy, your love life, your relationship with your kids if you have any. But, of course, on the other side of the heavens, the sun's in the part of your scope to do with your future, your interactions with others in a less personal way. I think it might be necessary for you in the following 2 weeks to think very much about your time management, because Uranus is forging a sextile and a trine across the full moon axis, suggesting to me that if someone is wanting too much of you, and whether it's a friendship or a friendship group or a hobby group, and you're not seeing enough of your partner, or you're footloose and fancy free, and you want to socialise, but it's difficult to get the balance. I think Uranus is saying to you, you need to step back into being utterly authentic about who you are. So the challenge with Uranus and Mars in your sign is to step away from conforming to what was expected of you. In psychology and therapy, they call it mother's little messages, which is profoundly unfair because it can just as easily be father's little messages. And the key, I feel, is if there's any conditioning which is holding you back, I think Uranus is saying to you in a big way at this time, look, you need to shake free of whatever it is you feel you should be doing to please somebody else, because Uranus in your sign is wanting you to be as truthful as possible to yourself, to live the most authentic existence you possibly can. And if that means using a bit of shock and awe to get your own way, being a bit more direct, which you have in your armoury when you really are clear about your objectives, but this points towards some changes. So that may mean changes around your interests, changes around your friendship group, even changes around your love life. But I think what you're really craving is the oxygen of stimulation and spontaneity. So if anything's become a bit stale in your situation, this month points towards shaking it up in some way, whether it's around your professional interests or your personal situation. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Please stay safe, take care, good luck, and goodbye.